let's start off in a situation where we're in half guard and we are chest to chest, but we cannot get an underhook because your opponent has taken his underhook on this side and he's really disciplined with his elbow on this side. And as a result, I just feel like I can't get any kind of underhook game going. Well, as we saw earlier, the first thing we're going to do is just shut down the effectiveness of his underhooks. So we shorten our arm, we bring our chin down to his elbow, and now when he goes to lift me with his underhook, it's a lot more difficult. Now, what I want to do is I want to get this shoulder and this hip flat on the mat. I know I can't win it with an underhook, so how are we going to play this? We're going to start walking our hand underneath our training partner's jaw. No matter how tight his head is in here, you can always walk the arm back. Once we get that bicep in front of our training partner's jaw, we're going to hold the elbow and we're going to lock up and we're going to take our hand here and grab the lat muscle. Don't grab the chin. You see this all the time. People think they get a strong crossface if we're grabbing the chin. Don't. You want to grab a handful of lat muscle. Once we get that lat muscle, we pull everything in tight. He's got an underhook in here. And now what I want to do is put tremendous pressure, courtesy of this shoulder of mine onto the end of the lever of his jaw down here towards the mat. So as Placido goes to work in this position, I'm going to walk across his center line. If he starts coming up off the floor, my underhook is undermined. Sorry, my crossface is undermined. So what I want to do is walk across his center line so I can really start using that crossface. Now I want a tripod on my head. When he goes to use this underhook now,
it's useless.
It's worthless. The underhook only has value when he's on his side. And then I walk across my training partner and I turn my crossface down into my training partner like so. As he locks up above my knee here, we're going to use our hand as a base of support. So what we're going to do is walk across and get his knee as close to the mat as possible. Now I'm going to put my hand inside his knee. I'm going to put my knee on the floor. The second it goes to the floor, I'm going to release. I'm going to sit here, 2 hands on the mat and 2 knees on the floor like so. If my opponent does nothing and just elects to hold on, we're going to go into a switching crossface. I had a left side crossface. Now I'm going to go in for a right side crossface. As Placido holds on tight to my foot, I'm going to walk across in the opposite direction, hold tight to the foot, and I'm going to come up and put my shoelaces inside my training partner's knee. And as a result, we can step forward and into the mounted position we go. What do you think your opponent's going to do once we start using this methodology? They're all going to do the same thing. Once we get our knee down to the floor, they're going to realize that they cannot simply stay here because I'm going to do the switching crossface. They're all going to put frames in here and go an elbow escape and put my knee back between their legs, then face, and put me back in guard. Put me back in guard. Like so. Okay, that's going to be the standard reaction. So, once we get our knee down to the floor, and we see him go to elbow escape, I'm going to put my fingers inside his bicep. As he goes to elbow escape, he wins the lower body battle at the price of the upper body battle. He got my knee, but he sacrificed the underhook. Once we get in here, we lock up. We come back into that same tripod position that we saw earlier. He locks up above my knee. We're going to create a situation where our shoelaces free our knee, we get our knee down to the floor, we kick out, and now we're back in side pin in a good pin situation. Let's have a look at this from another angle.
Oh, yes, another angle, please.
Sorry, Bob. So,
Give me one more angle.
from here, we're working, he has underhooks, and we have no underhooks. So from this position, first things first, we put our chin over our training partner's elbow to negate the effects of his underhook. Second thing, we start the action of walking so that we can lock up a good crossface. Now we move across our training partner's center line and get to this position here. Now we free the knee of our trapped leg and put it on the floor. We come into this position. As I see him go to elbow escape, I put my fingers inside his arm so that as he wins the battle for the knee, he now loses the battle for the underhook. So you gave something to get something.
We'll take care of that.
Even though he now has my knee, you know now from what we saw earlier in the video how easy it is for us to start coming up into those tripod positions where we can free the knee of the trapped leg and then get our knee down to the floor on the inside hip. Get a simple kick out and we go into our pass and finish.